Hi guys, I just got back from school. Well, not just, it was a few hours ago, but then after school I had to go to something else, and so I'm like out peopled. I touched grass for the first time this year today, which is actually, it's only been a week, because like every time I've gone outside, which has been the few times where my mom has been like, hey, take out the trash or something, I haven't touched grass because I've been walking through the driveway and stuff, and also been wearing shoes. But yeah, I did that, and now I'm tired because I outpeopled myself. You see, I do not speak to people like ever. I really don't like speaking to people, and so if they make you go to school and then you have to speak to people, and you're just kind of like, wow, are people really this stupid? And then you're like, oh yeah, they are. So it's pretty sad. You know, math is like my favorite class, probably. Actually, no, I enjoy chemistry more just because I have two friends there. You see, in this entire school year, I have well, there's like I have two friends, technically three, because my cousin's sister, and the two friends I did not make from school. They're people I've known for over a decade that I met not because of school, but because my cousin and his neighbor, and yeah, and that's why. And listen, I might not have been friends, but I have known the name of one person, and that's not an exaggeration. I currently know the name of one of my classmates that isn't one of them. Like, I could not tell you anyone else's name. In my defense, I only go to school once a week, so it's not as necessary. And in my defense, also, I hate people, so yeah. That's probably why I've learned the name of my teachers at least, though. I don't know. School is kind of like, it just really annoys me a lot. Because I'm just kind of like, wow, this is so stupid. For example, in chemistry today, there's this thing we were learning about called stoichiometry. And what this is basically you have to like balance the two sides, all right? And so there's like moles and stuff. That's like the units they do. And don't worry, this isn't a lesson. Well, listen, I'll make this brief because I'm just really annoyed about this. So our class period, we only go to school like once a week, and the rest is homework, which is amazing because it means for most people that you can just do the homework every day. And for me, it means that you can just not do any school whatsoever until Monday night, where you have to do your math because the math is due online at midnight and it really annoys you. But the rest of it, you wait until Tuesday morning before you go to school. And I'm not exaggerating. That is what I do, and it works out, dude. Okay, like I'm free for the rest of the week to do whatever I want, including learning math. Because yeah, I'm not joking. This is what I do in my free time. I just learn math. I like Google like, how do I do synthetic division, and then get really confused on why it's in my algebra 2 book if it's considered pre-calculus, and also why is it considered pre-calculus when this synthetic division took me 5 minutes of watching a YouTube video to figure out. Like, dude, it's not complicated, but I'm willing to bet people are going to complain. But in chemistry, we spent an hour and a half talking about this thing called stoichiometry. I don't even remember how I got started talking about the other math, but it's basically, so you have to balance out the two sides, and it's measured in moles. So let's say there's element A, I'm going to use hydrogen and helium. Okay, this is really basic stuff, don't worry. You can be in like third grade and get this because it's basic stuff. So you have like 1 mole. A mole is like a thing, but 1 mole of, it's a unit, but we're going to ignore it. So just ignore that it's mole. Just, you have 1 mole of helium plus 2 moles of hydrogen equals 1 mole of, we're going to call it X because I don't know, it's a variable, and we're just going to pretend that adding them together gives you X. And so listen, let's say you have 10 moles of X. Okay, how do you find out how much moles of hydrogen and helium you have? And now this is super advanced, except literally, okay, so you have 1 mole of X, now you have 10 moles. So you multiply that by 10. So you multiply the other side. So you had 1 mole of hydrogen, 1 mole or 2 moles of helium. So you get 10 moles of hydrogen and 20 moles of helium. You literally just multiply both sides by 10. How did the teacher make that take an hour and still have half the class confused? And also, how were they confused about this? This is the most basic stuff ever. Actually, I say that about pretty much every class. But like, seriously, this is like pre-algebra, if that. You're literally just multiplying both sides by 10. How? And she went on this whole thing, like, rant about s'mores and how instead of using moles, using s'mores to make it more, like, relatable. I don't know. It's like when the teacher, instead of using algebra, they write question marks, and you're like, dude, that just makes it more confusing. What the heck is going on? But yeah. So it's incredibly basic. It's super simple. So if you multiply the one side by the 10, you multiply the other side by the 10, and boom, you get your answer. It's like the most basic thing. And somehow it went on for over an hour. Like, seriously, you go to school to learn. I don't learn in school. I learn out of school. Like, I think I've said this before, but, oh, wow, what was I doing in this game? Yeah, what was I doing in this game? Well, here's the thing. In the entire first half of the year, because the second half now in algebra 2, I didn't learn anything. That's not an exaggeration. As in, I seriously could like, in math class, it's usually like I normally can figure everything out. For example, in like I remember in I think it was fourth grade, my teacher did this thing that I really liked, where before each time we'd learn something new, she'd give us some number, or she'd tell us to try and solve it. So that you could see, oh, it is actually pretty hard. Except literally, I think in the entire year there were two things that I couldn't solve in fourth grade, and this was before I even started liking math. I was like, whatever. I also didn't hate school at this point. It was more of mutual, because you see, I didn't realize that you're supposed to learn in school. I was kind of just like, I mean, I technically learn in school. I learn like one thing every week, even though I spend 7 times 5, so 35 hours a week doing this. Like, dude, if I spent 35 hours a week doing Minecraft, my parents would be like, dude, you're wasting so much time. But if I spend it literally being bored in school, like, it's worth it. Like, no, it's not. I really hate school. I think you can tell that by now. But, like, seriously, learning two things, and then this is like, but here's the thing: when I only learned two things, I mean that as in there were only two things I couldn't solve. That doesn't mean I knew how to do it. This the first semester. It's been all stuff I already could have done. Like I wouldn't have had to teach myself how to do it, which is really easy because school is meant to be like easy. That's like the whole point, I think. Maybe not college. I've heard college is hard if you go into like what's it called, an Ivy League school, which I'm not going to because that sounds like it'd be effort, and I do not put in effort. If you haven't noticed, I don't put in effort in anything, including Bedwars. Like in this game, I was kind of just like spamming while being really tired. Oh yeah, this isn't live, but uh, I think that like seriously, they're trying to teach you, but they spend an hour on something that you already know, and if you didn't know, you could figure it out. But like, what was I doing this game? Oh yeah, at that point in this game, I didn't realize that I hadn't bridged to the other side, so I left. Oh well, don't worry, guys. Listen, if there's one thing I have faith in, it's the stupidity of my fellow human beings. For example, that guy opens the bed, stops mining, then does whatever the heck that is. So yeah, but it's also true in real life. Although in real life, I generally try and avoid human beings. So yeah. I think the game is about to come to an end. I should probably say goodbye. I don't know what I call this. I should call it the stupidity of human beings. That's a pretty funny name, and it lets me make fun of people while being sarcastic. Yeah, this guy was a tactical genius, just like my fellow classmates. Anyways, guys, goodbye. Subscribe to Onaws, and you are not a stupid person, unlike everyone else in the entire world. Bye.